everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, November 7th. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video where we bring you some of the names that we are paying attention to, names that are on our watch list that you may find interesting, stocks that are holding up well, showing relative strength, not quite overextended yet, might not be ready right now, but names to pay attention to. So we're going to bring you 5 names. As always, these videos are powered by our partners over at Investors Business Daily. We curate some of these names from their stock lists over there. Take a look at the links in the description of this video to learn more and get access. So first things first, it is the day after elections here. The world and markets did not come to an end. It was not a repeat of 2 years ago. In fact, we saw the opposite. We're seeing stocks lift higher today, almost 2% to the upside here. And one, sort of cautionary note, if you will, is careful not to chase here. I'm not saying that this market can't continue to move higher. Just understand that we are now up approximately 7% or so off of the lows from last week, and we're coming into this 2800 area in the S&P 500, close to the highs, the swing high here in just a couple weeks ago in early October, and we know this 2800 level has been sort of a psychological inflection point in the past. So we're going to talk all long ideas today. Does not mean you should rush out and buy anything. Of course, do your own homework and due diligence, but also just keep in mind that we are stretched here. So let's, just be mindful of that. Even if you are putting on new exposure, I think that's fine as long as you are understanding the risks involved. So let's jump into our first name. This comes from IBD's list. This is Team. This was a recent IPO. Well, I guess it's been a while now. I feel like I've watched this since the beginning, but in 2016 this came public, and you can see it's been in this nice uptrend here ever since breaking out in this big expansion bar here in third quarter of 2017. When we look a little bit more closely at Team here, it has had a big pullback in line with markets over the past couple of months. It came right back to this long-term trend line of support here that started in December of 2017, and you can see it is lifting higher now. A little more structure kind of put in here than, say, the major averages. We have seen it kind of settle in around the $70. We saw buyers step in here. We saw a lift higher, a nice pullback, and now it's trying to get going again. So I like this setup in general here. We have some structure to work against, and really it's yesterday's lows that is going to attempt to put in the swing, the potential first higher low here for maybe a leg back up to retest, say, $84 or so. Some way to think about it, but overall it's a nice strong leader in the space. Had a nice little pullback here and now starting to lift up again. So Team is my first idea from IBD's lists. Number 2 is PAYC, so PAYC. Now this one here isn't participating as strongly. It's not ripping off of the lows like some of the other, even some of the major averages and some of the other stocks, but I do like the potential here. I like the fact that some structure is being put in here just over this 120 level. We saw the stock essentially move sideways here. Volume dried up over the past 4 or 5 days, and now you can see it's trying to get some legs over here. I don't think this is ready yet. I think certainly if you're establishing a position here, you have a tight risk you can use against that 120 level to trade against, but this hasn't made the all clear sign just yet. MACD still in negative territory, but it's trying to inch higher, but one to consider. It was a strong performer this year as well, not immune to the sell-off in October, and now it's trying to stabilize, so it's one to pay attention to. Finally, CYBR, another one here that has developed some nice structure here, which is always what I like to see as a trader, just to have a little more comfort that the market has proved its levels here. And in this case, this 65 and change area, really 66, 66.50 or so, you can see all of the attempts to kind of sell off under there and all of the tails where buyers supported this stock. And now, just like PAYC, it is trying to lift higher here again. Some pretty good volume coming in over the past couple of days. So this one, though, I might actually, I think this one was slated for earnings today, and I don't know, given the volume increase, if that was this morning or post or at the close today. So double check that, especially if you're looking at this name. In fact, double check all of the names that we're discussing today to check those earnings dates. But CYBR, from a pure technical perspective, I like the fact that this 66 level is holding. So long as we are above that, it looks interesting. Finally, two names from my watch list, a little bit out of the ordinary for the names that I usually bring. Not this one, BEL. This is more of a boring name, lodging space, but it is breaking out, showed some nice relative strength throughout this corrective action in the market over the past month or so. It's trading just under its highs, and you can see now it's starting to lift higher, clearing to new 52-week highs. If we zoom out here, you can see this consolidated for a long time in 2017, early 2018, had this real big breakout, never even attempted to fill this gap in here. It's continued to push higher, consolidated, and now making another move. So BEL, nice kind of nosebleed momentum name, usually not so volatile, but it is in play right now to the upside. Finally, this is the one that's a little out of the ordinary for me, a little extra risky here. CRBP. This is a small cap biotech, so we have risks all across the board here, and it's one, this is a weekly chart here that isn't ready just yet, but I thought this is interesting for all the adrenaline chasers out there. CRBP. This one here has moved sideways for 2 years. What I like about this move, though, is look at the volume that came in here on this swift move from $5 all the way up to about $8 or so. It's pulled back with a nice high tight consolidation, and now it looks like it's trying to make another run at it. MACD is in positive territory here, and this is a big pattern. It's a risky name, so of course do your homework, do your due diligence. I think it does have earnings in a couple of weeks as well, but if this can start to clear and squeeze above $8, it probably is good for a decent sized move there, but not without risks, of course. So CRBP, take a look at that one as well. So those are 5 names. Again, hopefully do your homework, do your due diligence on those names, and do keep in mind the overall broad market context. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in and watching our videos. Have a great day, and I will talk to you on Friday at the weekend market recap video.